Dave Chappelle is attacked while doing a stand-up routine. The Met Gala brings all the A-listers onto the red carpet. Doctor Strange scares its audience members. And Kim Cattrall spills the tea.
It's all coming up right now on The Take. Hey everyone, and welcome to The Take. I'm Elizabeth Wagmeister.
And I'm Clayton Davis, and we're here to give you our take on some of the week's biggest stories. And we had some big stories as we got galas, premieres, and people running on stage.
We did. So with that, let's start with one of the biggest stories of the week. An attacker rushed the stage when Dave Chappelle was performing at the Hollywood Bowl as part of Netflix Is a Joke's big comedy festival. Now, Dave Chappelle had performed for quite a few nights, and on the last night that he was at the Hollywood Bowl, a man rushed the stage. It's very unclear how he got up there with the security measures, and he had a replica gun that had a blade in it. Obviously, this brings up the issue of safety at live events. There's obviously a lot of opinions regarding Dave Chappelle and his comedy. Of course, there was that big controversy with his previous special at Netflix called The Closer because of the comments that he made about the trans community. But I think regardless of your opinion of Dave Chappelle, regardless if you are offended by what he says, this is now a safety issue. We just spoke last week about Olivia Wilde at CinemaCon being served paperwork. Now, just within a matter of days, you have Dave Chappelle, an A-list comedian, being approached with a deadly weapon. I mean, this is really scary, and no matter what you think about Dave Chappelle, this isn't okay. And if I were a comedian, I would be very scared on that stage.
Listen, I don't know if it's even just so much the comedians or just A-listers or any type of celebrity taking the stage in front of an audience and now need to really assess who's there and what could happen. I think what happened in this moment was pretty terrible. We shouldn't ever attack anyone, and we don't know if it had anything to do with comedy or if it was just someone looking for 15 minutes of fame, but hopefully they won't do this again, and then we can move on from that in the future.
Yes, and we do have to talk about, though, a bit of what happened on that stage. The performance, they actually said that phones were not allowed. Nothing was supposed to be recorded. Of course, when this happened, people figured out a way to get those secure phones unsecure. But Chris Rock was actually one of the surprise guests, and he came on stage after, and he said, "Was that Will Smith?"
Chris Rock
he
fashion.
Got his final word in.
Yeah, absolutely. But then there were other things that happened this week, like big premieres. Marvel Cinematic Universe's next entry, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, had its big premiere in Los Angeles, where stars Benedict Cumberbatch, Elizabeth Olsen, and newcomer Xochitl Gomez. The first LGBTQ Latina superhero has ascended onto the MCU, and people are excited. The movie is pretty great. I would definitely say that. It's directed by Sam Raimi, who did Spider-Man 2 and Evil Dead and Drag Me to Hell, lover of horror genre. I think it's one of the most BS PG-13s of all time, I'll be honest, because there are people getting sawed in half. There are, a great ode to Jack Nicholson in The Shining. And I'm not someone that shies away from, MPA ratings per se, but a lot of parents have been asking me this week, hey, should I take my kids to see it? And I'm like, I don't know if you should. It's a little rough.
I mean, right after the premiere, when you came in the next day, you told me, you're like, well, if you want a horror film, you got it, which means I won't be seeing it because I am a scaredy cat and I can't see anything that has blood and gore. But a lot of people are definitely going to love that.
Oh, it's going to make a bajillion dollars.
Yes,
and then also with that, we had the premiere of Top Gun Maverick having its big debut in San Diego, where Tom Cruise came in on a helicopter. The Screamed at CinemaCon got great reviews out of that. The premiere went over well. It's about to go to Cannes. We're about to have some really great summer movies. Blockbusters are back.
Absolutely. And Top Gun is getting rave reviews. I mean, the official ones aren't out, but what critics are saying, and everyone who has seen it early, they're saying this is a perfect summer tentpole.
Yeah.
I'm excited for that. I am also excited for, of course, the other film, but I can't see it in theaters because then I'll scream and then it'll be embarrassing for me.
Yeah.
But you're right, it's going to make $1 bajillion. And I loved what Benedict Cumberbatch said. There have been haters and trolls with anything that are speaking out against his co-star, and he said, shame on them. They really should be ashamed of themselves.
Absolutely.
But let's move on. It is a big week for us at Variety. One of my favorite issues that we do all year long, our Power of Women New York covers are here, and we have 6 incredible women gracing the covers. I encourage you to read them all But right now, because I'm a huge fan of Sex and the City, we've got to talk about one of our cover stars, Kim Cattrall. You know her as Samantha from Sex and the City, but you don't know her from And Just Like That because she's not part of the revival series that is on HBO Max. Well, now for the first time ever, Kim Cattrall is speaking about that series in a no-holds-barred interview with our co-editor-in-chief, Ramin Satuda. First of all, this is a fabulous interview. Everybody has to read every single word, but let's break down a little bit of what Kim said. So first of all, she revealed she was actually never asked to be part of And Just Like That, but she says that she doesn't like the storyline. She said she has not watched any of it, but she's heard about it. She doesn't think it sounds like the Samantha that she played, and she also says that she doesn't want to ever go back to play Samantha Jones, even if she were asked, which, let's be honest, probably not gonna happen.
Yeah.
You know, we all know by now that there have been various reports throughout the years that her and Sarah Jessica Parker, there was some bad blood between them. And actually, in another interview at Variety a few months back, Sarah Jessica Parker did address that, and Kim Cattrall said that she hadn't read it.
So I love a good interview, especially that's marked with shade, that I can only envision as I hang on every single word. And that's what I did the entire interview. Because the whole controversy between SJP and Kim has dominated a lot of the buzz that surrounded it, just like that, because people wanted to know where Samantha was. But now that she has taken her moment to say her piece, in this moment where the power of women is being challenged in this country, I'm very, I guess we'll say, encouraged that she took the moment to have her say in the way she wanted to say it.
Yes, and you know, for a lot of fans of Sex and the City, it was really sad to see the new series without her. So I'm glad that she was able to finally weigh in on it. I love both the original and Just Like That, so I'm a fan of both. But this interview deserves an Emmy on its own.
Absolutely. And listen, we had Power Women, a great event, and we also had a big event in New York. The Met Gala took place, the biggest celebrities in the world in attendance, under the theme In America, an anthology of fashion. We had A-listers, Jessica Chastain, Janelle Monáe, Sebastian Stan, and who could not miss Kim Kardashian and Pete Davidson walking the carpet. Pete Davidson, first of all, just perfect person. Like I just love the guy so much. He's so entertaining. But Kim Kardashian wearing Marilyn Monroe's Happy Birthday dress. I know you have a special take on it. I'm gonna let you kind of say it, but I don't think I was a fan of that look. My favorite looks of the night were Sebastian Stan. I'm gonna try to wear that one day.
I was gonna say, where's your hot pink?
I can't do it now.
You're wearing some salmon, some coral.
I'm gonna try to do it like in 3 to 5 years. And Janelle Monáe looked beautiful. But what was your take on Kim?
So first of all, I mean, she looked incredible. I don't even think that's up for debate, but I wasn't the biggest fan of her wearing Marilyn's dress. I think that you can pay homage to a star by wearing a replica, but by wearing the actual dress, which was in Ripley's Believe It or Not, for $4.8 million, that was known as the dress that only Marilyn could wear because it was made exactly to match her skin tone, and she was sewn into it when she sang to JFK. So I wish that she didn't wear the actual dress, but you know what? At the end of the day, this is all about fashion, and what happened while the stars were on the red carpet was this horrible news about women's rights being taken away with abortions. We don't have enough time to get into that, but that's really what we should be talking about and not what celebrities are wearing.
Yeah, and we also just want to say, speaking of amazing women, we lost an amazing one this week. Naomi Judd, the matriarch of the Judds, Winona and Ashley. We lost her at the age of 76. It is terrible. Our thoughts and prayers are with you all and her fans around the world. TV, country star, legend, she'll be missed.
And just the day after her death, she was honored at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Well done.
Yes, all right. Well, thank you as always for joining us, and we will see you back here on The Take on Fridays.
Thanks for watching.